Hey everyone, we're sitting down today with a beloved agent on our team, Sadie Logozio, to hear how she went from 3 to 20 transactions in 1 year. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and enjoy this video. Sadie, thank you so much for sitting down today. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about your story and also share with our community.
Yeah, thanks for having me in our beautiful office. Maybe I was here anyway, I don't know.
No one needs to know.
No, it means a lot that you wanted to sit down and ask me about success tools when I feel very much that you are the mentor of success here. So,
Oh, well, thank you.
What an honor.
You did not need to say that, but thank you. It's much appreciated. So tell us about Sadie before real estate agent Sadie came about. What brought you to this area initially?
Yeah, so Sadie before real estate, I'd like to think soulfully and internally is still the same Sadie now, except sometimes I wear blazers now. But Sadie before real estate, if you ask my fiance, was a sun-damaged hippie that worked with sea turtles. My life before real estate was actually completely centered around marine science and travel, and wherever in the world I can pursue my dream in that career. So coming to the North Topsail area, I actually had two motives. My fiance Chris and I, we had a short stint on Long Island where I was working for a seal and sea turtle rescue while Chris was transitioning out of active duty in the Coast Guard. And he got very fast and furious orders to come down to this side of the world here. We never really gave North Carolina a second thought. I knew about the Outer Banks and Fayetteville, and that's all I thought North Carolina actually was. So when we saw on the map, we're like, whoa, what's Surf City? What's North Topsail? What's a Sneed's Ferry? So we actually came down because of those orders that he received, and I saw that this community was huge in sea turtle conservation and rehabilitation. We also moved right at the start of COVID, so I was able to take my job remotely and work by the beach and still be with sea turtles.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that was 2020 or when you guys moved here?
Yeah, it was
originally?
March of 2020.
Okay.
And so my 3 years just passed, and yeah, couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and I think we met the summer of 2020, and it was along that time period somewhere where you decided you wanted to become a real estate agent. So like, how did that decision come to be?
Right. So when we moved down here, Chris actually got here before me. I had to stay in New York for about 2 more months. It was baby seal season. I couldn't quite leave at that moment. So by the time I came down here, Chris was telling me all about this podcast that he was listening to called Bigger Pockets. Ever heard of it? And he started going to these meetups, and I know that meetups were sparing during that time of the world, but he was going to these little meetups. He said there was about 2 or 3 people and some guy's mom that was there called Pints and Properties at this cool brewery nearby called Salty Turtle. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, once or twice.
So I was like, wow, real estate, that kind of came out of left field. Working in marine science and making the pay and living wage that I was, I never dreamed or even thought of owning property. I just thought I would bounce around for the rest of my life and rent. So to hear that my now fiance Chris was getting involved in it, I just thought like this was a big kid move. I don't know that I was ready to involve myself in it. I had no idea what it was all about, the process, what both sides looked like. So when I came down here, Chris was already going to these meetups, and he started looking at investment properties. And the one that he was looking at was way in Jacksonville.
Speak of the devil.
Is that where?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, is that who was calling me?
It was. Sorry to interrupt you.
Call declined.
All right. Something in property in Jacksonville.
Yeah, so Chris was looking at this property in Jacksonville. We were working with this wonderful real estate agent, and I was kind of just coming along for the ride. I wanted to see the area. I was new here. I thought it was exciting that we were looking at homes. Some homes were in better shape than others. And the only question that I remember having for a real estate agent at that time was like, do you think this house is haunted? You know, like that's just to show you the little that I knew about real estate. So once I saw that this was setting us up for success, this was a field that that took a lot of interest in our household. And once we acquired that first rental property, I thought that I would do myself the due diligence of learning a little bit more about it. It was COVID, I had time, I was working remotely, so I decided to take the the pre-licensing course in becoming an agent. Even if that didn't mean or result in me becoming a real estate agent, I just did it to learn, figure out the process, understand what this all was. As I took the course, I'm like, you know what? This could help us as an investor couple sort of fund and find our own deals and unlock some doors and take some walkthroughs. And that was kind of the plan. I have no sales experience. I just thought that like real estate agents open the door, host open houses, and have like fresh baked cookies around. And that was just a world that I didn't identify with or know anything about. So finished the course, and I start getting this spam mail from all the agencies that are reaching out and trying to recruit you. And I never really thought about a dream agency of mine or what that looked like. So I started coming to Pints and Properties, still had zero questions or insight as to what we were talking about, but I saw the way that you, Sean McDonald, led a crowd and were comfortable speaking about topics and the inspirational people that you had come talk to us. And I thought, like, this is the guy that I want to mentor me. Like, he seems like he's got his life together more than I do anyway.
I'm glad it appears that way.
Yeah. But like until you make it, So that's when I, asked you to sit down to coffee just to talk about, like, what are my next steps? What are my options? What do I do from here? And we sat down and talked about some goals, and you made it very clear that I was not going to be on the Quiet Waters Realty Group team at that time. We were not looking to grow at the moment, but you did agree to mentor me, and I feel like I kind of just poked and prodded until I inserted myself on this team.
Yeah, we were, everyone's figuring things out and at different stages of things, but no, it was definitely clear you had the drive and the right motivation to like be successful. And obviously we opened the door and welcomed you. And that first couple months as an agent, like if you can think back, what were some of your like challenges, like initially getting started for like, think you're talking to like a new agent that just got their license, like what's some of the things that you struggled with?
Yeah, so I think of a lot of struggles during those first few months. I think that I didn't really have a clear goal in mind, so I didn't really know where to start. And it took for us to sort of sit down and hash some goals out, whether that was for the week, for the month, for the year, for 5 years from now, and that really helped me hyper-focus. But I will say the sum of the whole of my struggles was the fact that I felt like I was new in this area. I didn't have a ton of personal connections. I didn't know anybody moving here. And on top of that, it was COVID where we couldn't physically have friends at that time.
Yeah.
So I feel like I had a really hard time integrating into the community. And, I'm jumping into this field where strangers have to now trust me to guide them along through arguably the largest purchase of their life. And how do I do that if I don't know anyone here? So to overcome that, it took a lot of steps and it took some time for me to physically be here, but it really started as to diving into my current sphere. Maybe they're not physically here, but people that I'm still in contact with back home and all of the places that I've lived, just really diving into who do you know and who do they know and how can you connect with them and grow that sphere, whether they are in person or not.
Yeah, and then you definitely did a great job of that. And I also remember you just like once it became socially acceptable to hang out with people again, you kind of immerse yourself into different community things and sports teams and stuff. So I think that was a great thing that paid off, not just in new friendships for you, but
absolutely. And I think that is important wherever you go and wherever you move. I do have the gift of being an extrovert, so perhaps it's a little easier for me biologically to do those things, but surrounding yourself in like-minded people, whether it's going to meetups or playing sports that you know that you like already, friendships are genuine, and you build that trust, and you build your community, and you build that tribe, and they will repay you somewhere down the road. Maybe not in real estate, maybe not monetarily, but it's good to grow your community.
You went from 3 transactions your first year as an agent, really it was only like 6 months, but to 20 your second year, your first full year of an agent. So what do you attribute that to? Because that's a pretty significant jump, and also well above average for even what, you know, a quote experienced agent does regularly in a year.
Yeah, it totally wasn't easy. But I really just was able to kick it into drive, and the term you get bit by the bug at some point, you kind of just want to keep growing more and more. I remember starting out, I'm like, you know, if I sold 2 properties a year, my license would pay for itself, and I would, you know, just get to learn the experience, and that's all I really wanted to do. So I ended the year with 3 deals, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I did it, you know, and that was a big milestone for me at that point, because I was still working my marine science job and well integrated into that community.
Sure.
So I truly was not giving real estate my full time and attention. And I think that I was still overcoming my fears and confidence jumping into a brand new career path. So I think just learning the trade a little bit more, honing in on a schedule and a morning routine that works for me to keep me in line, and constantly growing my sphere, and like I said, being around like-minded people, making it seem like it's normal to obtain these transactions. So I know that as a team, we have a really, really high bar. So I thought the number of transactions that I did was just normal. I thought everybody does it, you know, because that's who we surround ourselves with, and that has helped me build success.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, and it's definitely a great trajectory. And is there some things you wanted to like? I know you read a decent amount or listen to audiobooks. I'm not sure which one, but
A lot of true crime.
Is there a few books like that have influenced you a lot in your new career as a real estate agent?
Absolutely. So the first one, Miracle Morning, not necessarily a real estate book or even a business building book. It is really just to pave the path of how to be successful in your day-to-day. And that's waking up early, building a routine, and sticking to that. And without my morning routine, I am a whole mess. Like I lose train of thoughts. I got some serious bags under my eyes. I don't know where and how to start my day.
Yeah.
So sticking to that routine, it's not easy, but after a while, you don't feel normal without it. So Miracle Morning, that's my first book. My second book, hats off to Mr. David Green. That man needs a nap, but for good reason. He's very successful. And he's got a lot of really, really great tools to implement in maintaining genuine relationships with clients that I try and replicate in every single transaction and even just interaction with a potential lead or a stranger on the street.
So are you talking about his book Sold?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I didn't even say the name. Yes.
No, you're fine.
Sold by David Green, yes.
Also one of my faves.
Golden ticket, I mean, just, yeah, you really got to dive in.
Yeah. So what's one of the things that you do, that you've implemented from that book regarding pizza?
Yeah, so part of David Green's book in Sold is that he shows up on moving day and he brings a pizza and a couple closing gifts and everything like that. And if you think about it, it's kind of, I mean, nobody likes to help people move. Like that's like the worst thing you can receive in a text on your phone. Can you help me move on Saturday? Like, of course you're gonna do it. But as an agent, getting to see your clients on this big day, a big important day that is monumental for them and their family, not only do you get to show them that you will be there for them beyond the day of closing and never hear from them again, you will be there to support them for every real estate need that they have, including moving day. So my fiance Chris and I, we offer our 8-foot trailer. Shout out Trailer Swift.
Trailer Swift.
She comes in moving day too. But we show up and we help clear their house out or put stuff into their new house. And we're happy to do that. We sport our Quiet Waters shirts, and typically I will feed the group, whoever's there, with pizza. And please know that this is coming from a genuine place in my heart. I hate moving, but I love to see my clients happy and taking their first steps into this new adventure. It's also a really fantastic way to network in that moment. So think about who comes on moving day. It's a lot of neighbors, maybe, if your neighbors are cool. Maybe your parents are there to show support, some family members, and friends of theirs that are in the neighborhood. Now they get to see, like, whoa, your agent is here to help you move on moving day. It's just a great way to show people that you will go above and beyond and truly be there for them for their every need.
Yeah, absolutely. And another shout out to David Green. He said, he has a quote, it says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think you do a phenomenal job of like showing everyone you interact with how much you care about them. So I think it's just a great way to do business and do life, really, but
Absolutely.
it translates to, you know,
Right.
success in the business world too.
And a little bit about being a caring person. I think that's a common trait that we do have on our Quiet Waters team. I truly believe that we are in the business of changing lives, and from, you know, small investment properties to forever homes, whatever that is. I will go back and say that I have zero sales experience. I'm not a salesperson, and I don't consider myself one now. But what I do have is a big heart and a lot of love to give to people in my life, and that includes my clients. And I want them to know that I care about them. I care about this team, and I care about everyone's next journey. So I just appreciate being a part of that ride.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have been an amazing blessing to our team and my family, and yeah, we can't wait to see you continue to grow, and thanks so much for sharing some of your secrets.
Well, thanks for having me.
Please follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for future content.